let's try this again. So I've been trying to record this all day, but kept getting interrupted. So anyway, this is the start of a new series called the same thing for 5 minutes. So what it's going to be is going over one concept, probably in Python for the most part, and just playing around with it for 5 minutes. So the reason I came up with this is there's a lot of great tutorials out there, ones you should be watching. Probably this shouldn't be your first one, but yeah, they'll go over concept, like loops, something, whatever topic it is, and the whole video might be 5 minutes, but they'll go around like boom, 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 and if you're just learning, you may not have time to catch up, or you want to see more of it or more uses. So this series will get more in depth as time goes along, obviously. But today's kind of a test. I haven't done too many videos like this, so I'm still kind of learning on the editing and whatnot. So anyway, but yeah, today we're gonna go over for loops for 5 to 10 minutes. Who knows? So basic for loop. So it's meant to be able to iterate over like a iterable object. So there's some things that can't be iterated upon, and we may hit on that a little bit. So we're going to go over a string first. So just the basic variable. We'll go with my name or I. I can be letter, could be who, whatever you want. I is typically the one suggested. Where I in name. This. Yeah, and we get DOUG, 1 line each. We wanted to have that all in one. We could do empty string and name 2 I French 2. See what we get, Doug. So over the really roundabout way to get the same variable in another. There are a lot of applications for this, and that's again what I wanted to go over, or what I want the purpose of this to be is to just go over the different uses, different cases, and things like that. So there's a lot of fun to be had with this. So there's like for loops are super duper important, like super duper. It's just one of the fundamental things in programming, and yeah, if you don't get it down, you're gonna have a bad time. So most importantly, yeah, you can iterate over a list, obviously. So this is just a list of numbers. So if we go for numbers, I, we get when you know it, those numbers just as they appear. But yeah, then you could do other things to it, especially if we start to maybe put in a list to append it to. We can go for I and new, so for I and numbers, we could go new list. Let's go negative I, make it negative. Power of programming, people. This is amazing. Like, if you don't know programming, you can make numbers negative. It's pretty great. So look at that. We just turned all those numbers negative in like 30 seconds. So you should feel pretty good about that. Now what you will inevitably run into, whether you know to do it or not, is let's say we have a variable. It's an integer, not a float, not a string. It's an integer, which is not iterable in some ways. So if we go for I, X, I, what's going to happen? An object not iterable. So what we can do in that case, if we want to iterate over a string, one way, or an integer, turn it into a string, pass it into a string, and then look at that. Did it. That's that right there. That's pretty advanced. So obviously this is all pretty simplistic, but I think it helps to see it time and time again. But what else can we do? So we turn it into a string. What if we turn it back into an int? Let's see that. Let me see. What was I doing? Can we add something to it? No. Oh yeah. What was I doing? All right. You have to do it down here. You can't assign to a function call. Like I said, this is beginner programming, people. All right. And that should, so if we go 1, 10, 10, 10, look at that. That's some advanced stuff, but this starts to become really useful as you go into, you know, further into programming and using the for loops, if statements, and combining them with conditionals and doing something to whatever you're trying to iterate upon. You know, it's kind of like, hey, I have a stack of comic books, and you know, I can alphabetize them, I can sort them, you know, kind of sky's the limit, you know, and it's kind of like this machine that just goes over whatever you want it to do something to, and you know, again, if you don't have a thorough understanding of for loops, at least even on the beginner level, you're going to struggle with everything else. And you know, this is the stuff I did, but I didn't do all, like, I could have done more of it. So yeah, you can do all kinds of fun stuff with lists, you know, you name it. So we have our list of weapons. Let's go I and then weapons. Print I. There we go. Nothing crazy. But like I said, hey, we can do stuff to it. Make it uppercase. Yeah. Those weapons are now uppercase, like a little bit more threatening, wouldn't you say? Alternatively, we can go lower. Not as threatening. Now, well, yeah. But it's most important you can iterate and do stuff. So if and weapons, forget where I was going with this. We'll give ourselves a new list. I don't know. Let's just. I don't really have a goal for this one. Weapons. Is that gonna work? Again? No, I wasn't doing that right. Obviously, I'll just create myself a new list. If saber in weapons list. Wait, I know what I was doing. Sorry. Then, hey, you get lightsaber. So basically, you can go through the list, and I was basically looking for any word that ended in saber. Went into the new list. We print the new list, and you know, still print weapons, and everything's gonna be there. The other thing I like to do, so something you could learn sooner than later as a beginner too, is list comprehensions, which basically just turns you know, all your conditionals for, you know, like your fors and stuff, your loops into one line. So that being said, you're gonna have a lot of fun with these. Same thing. So it's just like if I iterated it through, but it's all in one line, and that means I could even do stuff to it right here. I can do split them, and then it's a list of lists. So all these things come in handy, and then you could even do stuff over here. 2, 8 should be most of them. Oh yeah, except blaster. So there you go. So you can do all kinds of conditionals, you name it, and then you can do multiple for loops. Let's say if we have a list of lists, and this is where it gets kind of fun, is doing a nested one. So, and I like to do this. I always feel like I've accomplished something if I've done it in list comprehensions too. So what we got, and so what I did there, you iterate through the list, and then you iterate through what you just iterated through, and that flattens the list. This one's super helpful. This is just one use case, but being able to do a list comprehension with two, super useful. Same thing if we were to like this. And new list. I think we have to do more than J, but let's see what that gives us. Oh yeah. Okay, I did it. Sorry. That's how you do it. So that's why, sometimes, writing out your full for loop makes, for cleaner code. But, I like to think that the list comprehension is cleaner code. So anyway, that was the same thing for about 5 minutes or more of for loops. So hope you enjoyed it. There's more of these coming. Hopefully they get more advanced. But just my chance to play around with stuff and share all this. So like, subscribe, do all that stuff. Have any ideas, let me know. Thanks.